Yeah. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Number one on the day.
Number one on the day, number one in here. Let's see if we can hit our 10 quota in here. Oh yeah. Shedding layers already. Gotta love it.
I've seen more of this guy's body naked than I ever wanted to. I will tell you, mature buck, small drop time. Just saying.
Oh man, he wishes. He's got to talk that way about to me because his drop time is barely a drop time. It's like a kicker point.
Hey, Shauna likes the flyer. Whatever.
Oh man, well, we're
off to the races already,
we're
right?
back. Yeah, we're talking shit already. Parker got us permission on a piece that was next to the ground that we hunted. One of the main pieces that we hunted when we were here in December, and where I missed the buck on the last day. So, be cool to find his sheds. There's a big 10-point side in here. We know that. I mean, we saw 15 to I don't know, right, 20 different bucks while we were hunting here. So there's got to be bone off.
Like I said yesterday, the food source is here, the winter wheat's here. I mean,
yeah.
And it's when you get back in here, I know it's going to be just crazy thick and woolly, and so it's just a huge bedding area.
But another beautiful day, and
show them that trail. We was just sitting here talking.
Yeah,
you got to see this.
We're just sitting here talking, parked on the side of the road, and this is Kansas for you right here. This beat down mud trail, you can literally see it going through the tall grass like 40 yards on the other side of the road. It's Kansas for you. There's a lot of deer out here.
That's the thing about like what I've told you about with like being, I've shed hunt. I'm 43 now, and I've been shed hunting since I was probably 15 years old. My mom used to take me out before I could drive. And what I've learned in this time of the year, more in the last 2 months of like when they start shedding, you know, up and through now, is you can find these trails and the scrapes are all still there, and you're intruding in an area that you don't want to intrude into in like October and November. So like let's say I pick this up for a lease while you're here, okay?
Yeah.
And you and I could be like, okay, let's go on here, mark 4 or 5 spots for good tree stands on this 160 acres. We could go in here and literally scout this right now.
Oh yeah.
And don't have to come back out here until
the day. Oh really? Or or a couple days before, whatever.
Because these whitetails in this part of the country, and I can't speak for every part of the country, but for here, you've only got like 10 to 15% timber, and everything else is either cattle ground or row crop. And out here, they're going to do the same exact thing every year, unless it gets over intruded or somebody comes in with a dozer and removes a section of timber.
Something changes massively.
But for the most part, it's the same thing. It's like when you're raising kids, they're doing the same thing, and the kids are doing, like my dad drove a Ford, my grandcat, you know, I mean, well, we take this trail and their kids take that trail, and it's the coolest thing ever. And like I said, this is the best time of the year to be out here doing this stuff too, you know, and you get to see who your survivors are.
Yeah, I mean, even when we walked for 3 or 4 hours yesterday, I don't know, we almost hit 6 miles, I think, and just what we did yesterday, it's just like, it's so different than where I came from hunting. I mean, shed hunting wasn't a thing for us when we were younger. We grew up hunting the big woods of New York, so there's no patterns like this. You know, there just isn't. It's all big hardwoods. It's massive, like pine thickets and stuff like that, and big river, you know, creek and river bottoms and ridges and stuff like that. There's very little ag ground up there. So, you know, their point A to B is through the hardwoods. And although you will find trails and runs and pinch points and stuff like that, but, you know, their trail could be 20 to 30 yards wide, you know, coming down a ridge or something like that, where it's not as pronounced as something like this, but it's just you know, and obviously there's a lot, I think there's fewer deer there, and there's definitely fewer, the buck to doe ratio is completely different as to what it is here. So naturally you're not going to find as many sheds doing that.
I haven't looked at the moon guide, but I know you're here on a high pressure system and a rising moon, and heck, you talking deer numbers last night. I live about, I don't know, 15 minutes from the closest town to us. And I think last night we probably seen, not exaggerating, at least 50 deer.
Oh, at least.
You know, in a 15-minute drive. It's
Yeah.
just group here, a group here, a group here, and they're all congregated in the winter wheat right now.
Right.
So let's go find some bone.
Yeah, let's go find some. I'm actually really excited about this because, man, we saw a lot of deer coming in and out of here. You want to talk about Kansas again? Look, this is the other side of the trail coming across the road. Look at this. You can just, as far as you can see. This is really cool, and this is pretty awesome to get the opportunity to walk in here. I mean, Dean and I would be sitting up on that hill where we were seeing all these deer come down and through the winter wheat that's on the other side that we'll show you in a little bit. But we watched countless deer and bucks coming in and out of here, and actually this thicket is where the 10 ended up with the doe, and a couple of the other bucks ended up following them up into here. And so this is obviously where they felt comfortable, where they were coming into bed. But you can just see it's just super gnarly thick in here, and it's just, this is what you think of when you think of Kansas. I mean, I'm just like a kid in a candy store right now. It's hard to kind of comprehend where I'm at and what I'm doing. I mean, look at this, you guys. This is unbelievable. The deer up on this hill, why would they not come up onto this hill and lay in this tall kind of CRP style grass? You probably can't see, but the power line all the way over there is where I missed that deer. But he was using all this pretty religiously. So I don't know what I want to do here. You can tell my mind is like, I gotta slow down.
But I think I just found a dead buck. I don't know if it is or not. Oh yeah, this is cool. Dude, that's a stud, or was. Oh, the mass on that buck was... See how porous it is? It's been here for a while, but see how porous his antlers are? That's a sign that that deer probably died in EHD. That would have been a freaking tank. That sucks.
So I'm out on the edge of this winter wheat field, and look, I mean, this is just one spot. There's two other spots down on that other corner, but this is just one spot where the deer are clearly coming in and out of. And you could see this is kind of what Parker was talking about, is the scouting and the intel that you can get this time of year, and how these deer are coming out of the bedding areas and utilizing the food sources in and around them. And it's just, yeah, I mean, mark up the OnX maps. I mean, you got this tree, this bigger tree right here. You got this cluster of trees right here. You could put an XOP in as these deer are kind of staging up in here, and you can see the cedar thicket is right at the top of the hill. So you got these deer that are staging up. I mean, it's a recipe for carnage. And this field is out to the east, so the predominant westerly winds is actually perfect. If you get up, you may have to trim a couple shooting lanes to the field, but if you get up in a tree like this right here, number one, what I like about it is you stay concealed because it's a multiple trunk tree, but the predominant wind is going to be blowing your wind out over the top of this field. Little elevation is going to be perfect. Deer can be in the field, they likely will not smell you, and more than likely it's going going to be just an evening spot to access from the field and pop up in here. But these deer are clearly going to stage up right in here. I just saw a rub right at the top of the hill, which doesn't surprise me. And yeah, I mean, it's a pretty perfect setup. I mean, look at this trail right up through here. And man, once you're getting a little bit more ballsy, coming up into one of these cedars would probably not be a bad gig either. But this is probably a great spot for these deer to bed. Up on this hill, it's thick, predominant west wind coming over their back. They can see out to the field and everything like that. I mean, yeah, it's just a good spot. It's just Kansas. It's just a good spot. Just makes you feel good, makes you look good, makes you want to do good things, and it's just fantastic.
Super respectable.
See it?
Huh?
Is that it under there?
That's it, under there.
Yeah, man, you can see that from a far ways away.
I didn't see it that close. I literally was coming around this bend, and that's when I seen it laying there. Let me see that camera. I'll get you going and grabbing it.
Oh yeah, that is it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hell yeah. That's a good one.
We have no idea who that deer is.
That's crazy. That's wild. I feel like those splits seem like similar from pictures that you've sent me of maybe somewhere else.
Well, yeah, I mean, we have a lot of deer with splits, but at the same time, like, I know my farms well enough to tell you I don't know that deer.
That's crazy.
And what I was just telling you is, like, that's probably a 4.5-year-old deer, if I'm guessing. But
good buck.
Yeah, it's a great deer.
Yeah.
I mean, what's he gonna be next year?
Yeah, oh my God.
But is this as far west as he comes?
Right.
You know, like...
Right, because we're hunting all that way. And you would think if he's working the winter wheat fields or whatever that way, you know, you'd have pictures of him at some point. Man, that's a good one.
That's number 61 for me.
Nice. Solid find.
Has it got a pedicle? Or, I mean, no, it's been on the ground for a little bit. If you'll notice, see these little bugs? Okay, so what they'll do is they'll come in and they'll eat all of this, and that's what they call the wax ring.
Okay.
The longer that antler is on the ground, the less of the wax ring.
So you still got a little bit.
Yeah. So if you find one with a full wax ring, that antler's not been on the ground that long.
Pretty fresh.
But no chew marks.
Yeah, no, I mean nothing. There's not a nick on this thing.
His other side's in here somewhere, and that's not the deer I thought it was either. Like I told you, there's a buck. I got a buck. He was a 3.5-year-old last year. 13 scoreable.
Wow.
As a mainframe 9-point.
Wow.
He had trash coming inside flyers, so he could be in here, and I wouldn't even know it until we stumble across his antler. Number 1 on the day.
Number 1 on the day. Number 1 in here. Let's see if we can hit our 10 quota in here. Let's go, baby. This is kind of the back corner where, so I don't know if you could see the winter wheat way over there is where Dean and I were hunting throughout the fall, or throughout the December, our trip here in December. Oh, nice. Well, last year's model, but a bone nonetheless. We got to keep it for the till. All right. Two for the day. I mean, this is definitely where the deer are going to stage up at. That's for sure. Man, it would be so cool to find a side or both from that buck that I missed this year. That would be epic. I mean, I'm not downplaying what this has already been. but that would be epic. All right, you guys, my GoPro died, so I gotta use this for a sec. But I just spotted this. That's a pretty good deer too. Damn, that is a heck of a side. Look at that. Heavy deer. Probably last year's model. But that's a heavy, really nice buck. Wow. Heck yeah. This place is just unbelievable. I mean, it keeps getting better. I've got 4 in my hands already from today. And yeah, that one's a good one. We'll keep carrying on. Good shit. I just found another little dink, and I just found another little 8-point side. This might be the other side of the buck Parker just found. We're stacking them up in here, people. We're stacking them up. I gotta record on my phone because I'm recording so much on here, or on my GoPro, the damn battery's dying. Come on, there's gotta be a good one in this little pine thicket. You know they wanna come in here, get some thermal cover. Man, look at the rubs in here. This is nuts. Look at these rubs. Rub. Big old, look, pretty fresh rub right through there. We're getting up to that good. Another rub right here. Let's see if we can find another one in here. Oh man, I think we already met our quota. And I see another. It's a good one. It's a pretty good one. Oh yeah. Last year's model once again. Hey. Look at it. Okay. Hang on to it. Look at that. Number 11, I believe, on the day.
You recognize that deer?
Holy shit.
You've made full circle with this buck now.
Holy shit. This is the last year's model of the buck that I missed. And we're not, I mean, we're a couple hundred yards from the blind probably.
Yeah,
if that.
Yeah, probably 200 yards.
Holy shit. Holy shit. I mean, definitely one of the bucks we came in here to find. Didn't expect to find
his last
the
year.
2022 model. That is crazy. I got goosebumps right now. That's nuts.
That's cool.
This literally, this is the buck that I missed. This is the buck that we literally, this is the first buck that we saw in Kansas. He was out in the winter wheat right out here.
Yeah.
And the last night he came in probably right on one of these trails right here, literally. Yeah. I mean, he came right from here somewhere.
Yeah, let me see that deer.
That is freaking awesome. Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
He's the exact same deer with a little bit of growth and maybe some tine length, maybe. Yeah, I mean, and that probably shows his age, is that he didn't grow. Well,
I mean,
with you saying that, I will explain a little something to you and to the fans here. A lot of people ask me about antler growth and so on and so forth, and genetics, and this is what I'll tell you. Genetics is 100% the key. Sure. I call them the Michael Jordan of deer. If they're going to be a specimen, right, you're going to start noticing it in their 2 and 3 year old. 2-year-old.
Yeah.
So 3 years ago, Weston McCulley came and hunted with me, and At 3.5 years old, the deer was in the high 150, close to 160 range. The year we killed him, he was 212.
Damn.
So he made a 60-inch jump from a 3.5 to a 4.5-year-old deer.
He was already expressing that though at 3.
Great rain, great row crop, great everything. This last season, going in from this year, going to the year, we're going from this year to the year that you shot at and missed him. Horrible drought.
Okay.
We had a lot of EHD a lot of buddies of mine are finding a lot of deads, but this deer did make a jump, not a huge amount of jump.
Right.
But if we get good moisture this year, like we've already been getting some rains, there's moisture in the ground right now.
Yeah.
So there's potential for these deer to put on more inches this year because they're not stressed.
That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? They're just, they're not, it's not 110 degrees outside.
Right.
There's moisture and everything. Everything's green. And if we continue to get rain, I guess the moral of the story is, you're going to notice a better jump from out of a drought season rather than in a drought season.
That makes sense. That is badass. I mean, we wanted to find one of them, and there's still 2 more out there.
Yeah. There could be 3 if we can find the other side.
Well, yeah, very true.
His driver's. We found the passenger side. Then we can find the driver's side.
Yeah.
And the whole automobile's laying in here somewhere from this year. So
I mean, this is just insane. We've been in here about an hour.
Probably, or maybe a little over, but
yeah. But I mean, where are we at? We haven't, probably close to 2 miles, I bet.
And most of that's been in circles because this place is just hard to walk.
2.28. So, and we found 11. Yesterday we did like 5.5. We found 5. Different walking. I mean, we're in the bed. We're in there. Yeah. We're in their core. That's for sure. The rubs in here are absolutely insane. I mean, you can just tell this is the habitat.
It's like I was telling David. As far as this farm goes, it's an older gentleman. He's in his 80s that owns it, and he brings his grandson in here like maybe 1 or 2 days a year to rifle hunt it. And they row crop the west edge of it, and all of this is just bedding. Yeah. And I've thought about I do lease some of his other properties, and I've thought about leasing this particular piece of property, but this is such a fun farm to not hunt and just hunt the edges. Right. And keep this there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because the farm that you have on the edge, like God bless, you can only, like, there's not much area in that farm to have as like a sanctuary. Like, you can only really hunt that farm. You know, there's the tree row where we set up the blind, but there's not like an area like this where you know, where the deer can really sanction on that farm. So having this right next door is pretty perfect.
Not putting me in here, not putting people in here as an outfitter, it benefits my clients, because your first day you got here, you weren't going to hunt, you decided to hunt, your first set was in here. How many deer did you see that morning?
I mean, if it wasn't 20, it was damn close. Yeah. And this deer was one of them. We literally crapped ourselves when he was walking through the edge of the winter wheat, and he ended up coming right down into here somewhere. But yeah, I mean, we saw deer going in every different direction. They were moving 360 degrees around us, and most of the deer, no matter where they came from, late morning they ended up right in here.
For me, in Kansas, it's not about leasing all of the land, it's about leasing the right pieces. Yeah. And you know, when you can lease up some of the right pieces and put some guys that, you know, those FOS, you know, those out-of-state guys.
Them out-of-state guys in there, them bastards.
Yeah. And that's you know, that's a topic that we'll hit on, you know, while we're here and stuff, and visit about. But it's fun to get a phone call at the end of the night when it's you guys, or friends from Kentucky, or friends from Georgia, or whatever the case might be. It's so much fun to get a phone call and they're just, dude, I seen 35 deer tonight. Dude, I seen 43 deer.
I mean, you heard it in our voice after every hunt. Like, it was evident that we were having the time of our life. Right. I mean, and that's just, I think that's what Kansas provides, especially when you don't come from, you know, you're not accustomed to this. Being able to get the experience to come out here and actually experience it firsthand. It's literally, it's everything that it's cracked up to be.
You know, we were having that conversation this morning about breakfast. Like when you go up to the Dakotas or you come to Kansas and you rent a mom and pop Airbnb, or you go to our restaurant, or you go to Rookies or Sharky's, or heck, we were at H&H Grill eating this morning. You know, I mean, these are all mom and pop places that are blessed by you being here, looking for some damn deer antlers, enjoying recreation and life and what God has blessed us with.
Amen. Amen.
So I'm just being serious.
No, that's exactly right. You're exactly right.
Because someday I'm gonna be laying dead in a casket, and all this stuff that was mine, it wasn't really mine. It was something that God had blessed me with in a period of time, and you're a fool if you don't take advantage of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I want to go kill an elk someday before I camp, and I'm probably gonna go to New Mexico.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna go to Western Colorado, or
it ain't
Utah.
gonna be here. It ain't gonna be here.
Yeah. My neighbor has elk, but if I shoot one of his elk in that high fence pen,
that'll be an issue.
that's not neighborly.
Let's go find some more. I feel like we're just kind of tipping the surface of this bedding area. Talk about nostalgia. This is take you guys for a little gander. Well, that buck that we saw on the last night, he came right off the corner of this field and right up and through, jumped the fence over there. I think there's a place for me to get across the fence right here. Yeah. So this is it. You can see the blind's a little decrepit over there, but this is where it all went down, and from right there, the buck that I shot at was probably standing right in here, and I clipped one of them small limbs and sent the arrow sailing. I just want to kind of cruise up here, because this is where they would jump the fence down in here, and they would come. I mean, you could see the path that they got coming through here. Well, this was him. I mean, literally from the blind you could see this deer, and he was walking right down. He was gonna hop the fence right in front of us. Coyotes started going and howling behind us, and well, we ended up empty-handed, and that is all. And sometimes that happens. Oh, here's one right here.
It's kind of what it's like at this point, isn't
It kind of is.
Oh, there's another one.
Oh, here's a couple more.
Look,
Oh my God. Parker offloaded a batch at the truck. I got 3 in my hand. My bag is ripping at the seams, and I don't know, maybe we'll find another. Oh, I guarantee you there's a couple more in here. Hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh, hey, oh. Oh, that's a little 6-pointer.
yeah,
Or is it a...
like it.
All right. How did we miss that one coming through here the first time?
Well, it's been probably an hour since we came through here.
Parker was walking this section. He missed it.
You're talking. If you know this face, you know there's no truth to him saying that I walked by a deer antler. I don't
know.
Let's talk about the one that was in my yard. Bring that one up.
That's a decent little.
Oh, it's a 4-point size.
Oh yeah, it is. Show is.
Shows enough.
My goodness. Just keep them coming.
Good Lord.
With a CUM.
I tell a lot of people it's like a mile for antler. Not today.
Not today at all.
Not today. What
Yeah.
will we walk? 4 miles? 5 miles?
We're gonna probably be closer to 5 when we get out of here.
Okay, so we'll walk probably 5 early and 5 later, or 7, 5 to 7 later, and I don't even know where we're at.
We got to be close. I mean, we're at 15 for sure. How many? Like,
I don't know.
yeah,
I dumped 4 or 5 at the truck.
I have 6 in my bag, and we have 4 here.
So there's 10. So yeah, we're at
15,
plus.
16, yeah. My goodness. And look at deer come through here every once in a while. It looks like just every once in a while, though. Back to the truck. Oh! Look at my bag. It is chalked. My bag says get a new bag and leave me alone.
Oh, did you not see the fine print on the tag? It says not for Kansas shed hunting.
Well, boys and girls, time for lunch. There's our morning haul. 16, so that's 21 or 22 on the trip so far. Not bad. Not bad. Another 5 miles on the boots. We got to go refill the tank and see what we can get to this afternoon. Oh yeah, yeah, spread them out, the good ones. Oh yeah, yeah, this is the row of the good ones. Okay.
A lot of history with this one, and I don't have a lot of history with this one because he kind of disappeared after velvet and was on the neighbor's piece, and this deer has literally traveled. This deer was a homebody. This deer and this deer had like a 3-mile make our lives miserable circle.
Yeah.
But that's fine. Like, he's not a shooter and he's not a shooter and he's not a shooter, but this upcoming season, those 3 are gonna be knocking on heaven's door.
Yeah, hopefully by one of my arrows, if I don't send it into a branch first.
Look at those genetics.
Yeah, that, I mean,
short tines, but do you know, good, that's got
good
real
mass.
good.
Yeah.
I would say that this buck this year, with you missing him, he's probably carrying mass like this deer.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Without
that, yeah, he didn't have quite the brow tines like that, but
we'll have to look back at some of the footage that you guys have of this deer and
yeah,
see, like, but I mean, dude, you can't tell me that those 2 deer are not, like, they're either brothers or related in some form or fashion, just because, I mean,
yeah, I know. The profiles of them are
identical,
pretty similar. Let's go get something to eat. I'm hungry.